CTV News with Elissa Carpenter.
Good afternoon. We begin with some breaking news. Late this afternoon, Pronghorns men's basketball coach Dave Adams announced he was stepping down. Lisa Bowes has the details coming up just a little later on in sports. Two men charged with a fatal assault remain behind bars this afternoon. The charges stem from a February 16th attack on a 63-year-old man. Barry Peltier was assaulted in South Lethbridge and died 4 days later in hospital. 61-year-old Randall Clarence Ostby and 28-year-old Scott Randall Ostby are each charged with manslaughter. Even after the pair were arrested, it took several days to determine which charges should be laid. Police consulted with the Crown Prosecutor's Office, who determined manslaughter was the right charge for each man.
The call that we got was from a concerned citizen that saw an altercation and felt that obviously that there was an assault and that the police needed to be involved, and that's how our involvement started.
Scott and Randall Ostby are behind bars until their next court appearance on Friday. Meantime, two Calgary men are charged after RCMP discovered a container filled with drugs hidden in their vehicle. RCMP stopped a vehicle along Highway 23 near Picture Butte on Saturday. Officers immediately noticed a strong smell of marijuana coming from the vehicle, which prompted them to search the car. They found 2.5 kilograms of pot. RCMP say charges are pending. Time now to check in with Doria. And Doria, a bit of snow on the way tonight. Just to remind us, it is still February out there.
Yeah, but then we're going to be reaching double-digit numbers as we head towards the weekends. So yeah, it's a real up and down month at this time of year and the season that we're in right now. But yeah, we still technically are in winter after all. So a little snow tonight, little snow tomorrow morning, and then area of high pressure slides in. I'll have you details coming up in a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Dory. There are calls for a new election on the Blood Reserve. 3 of the unsuccessful candidates in the last year's band election are now circulating a petition asking the whole thing be redone. They say the results should be invalid because of breaches of the Election Act and irregularities in the appeal process. Terry Vogt reports.
As of today,
the petition is being organized by a small group of band residents, including 3 candidates who didn't win a seat on council during a band election in November.
The petition will state that what we're after is a whole election, go through the whole format again.
The petition organizers say a new election is the only fair way to deal with breaches of the Election Act and irregularities that came to light during the appeal process.
It's not about attacking the chief and council. They clearly won in their election. It's just the way things were handled after that by the electoral officer and the appeals committee.
The Blood Tribe election results were appealed by several candidates, including Kyla Crow, who tied for the final spot on council but lost the seat through a coin toss. The appeals committee recommended a runoff by-election among the final 2 candidates after problems with equipment and ballots made it impossible to carry out an accurate recount.
The election bylaws and regulations were never followed.
And I think a lot of people are scared to talk because they're afraid to lose their jobs and stuff like that, you know. But I'm not afraid to speak out. I have to stand for my people in order for things to change on our reserve.
Chief and council aren't commenting on this petition. They say they're only following the recommendations of the appeals committee, which called for a runoff by-election on March 5th. The chair of the appeals committee says they didn't find any grounds for a general re-election. They say this is no longer a matter for the appeal board, but it would now be a legal issue. Terry Vogt, CTV News on the Blood Reserve.
Petition organizers say they hope to gather 3,000 signatures before the runoff election is held on March 5th. Just under 150 people braved a brief snowfall over the weekend to walk in support of ending homelessness. Up from just under 30 walkers last year, organizers of the Streets Alive mission's Coldest Night of the Year event say they surpassed this year's goal and raised more than $30,000. A team of 6 walkers from the Kinsman Club raised just over $1,800 for those less fortunate. Team Capital Adrian Bruce says it's a great team-building experience.